Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another edition of the Gentleman's Corner. And tonight I have for you Cameron, who I actually saw or met from Watts' channel. How are you doing today, Cameron?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So,
Excellent.
I've been watching some of your videos over the last week or so, and I've looked through quite a few things, and I hit you up today to see if you want to do this. I had you in line behind two other people, but two people had to reschedule, so I figured I'd ask you and bump you up.
Well, thank you very much for putting me on.
No, absolutely. I'm going to ask you the same question that starts off with that I ask everybody, which is who or what inspired you to YouTube and why?
Well, the first person who kind of inspired me to start YouTube was kind of like CNanners, kind of that whole era of YouTubers, if you know what I mean, like when they were all in the big YouTuber corner, and I wanted to kind of do that kind of Let's Play type stuff that he did in Call of Duty and stuff like that. And also surprisingly, and I know some people might be like, oh, gross, but PewDiePie actually inspired me quite a bit to start YouTube. I guess saw how funny he was and how popular he was getting. I thought I could do content like him, so I started out doing YouTube like that.
Now, I know on the video that you had on Watts' Subscriber Saturday that you were saying you started off with doing like PS3 commentaries and stuff like that, and it looks like for the most part you've kind of transitioned over to doing more vlogs / Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Was there a particular reason?
Yeah, well, I started out with PS3 because I was looking at channel like, White Boy 7th Street. I was kind of like, oh, he does PS3, and it's kind of like his claim to fame is that he's a PS3 professional gamer. And I don't want to brag or anything, but I thought I was pretty good at Black Ops back in the day on PS3. So I thought, hey, maybe I can kind of catch in on that game too. But then eventually, as I went on, I kind of started to think, let's get my own style, let's do my own thing. And then I started doing some zombies and some Let's Plays and vlogs and all that kind of stuff.
All right, now for Call of Duty, it's strange because there's like two much different communities, even though it's Call of Duty. Call of Duty, you have the zombies community, and then you have the regular Call of Duty community, and it doesn't seem like too many people cross paths, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it seems like when a lot of people, buy a Call of Duty, they're either buying it for the multiplayer or they're buying it for the zombies, and they don't usually play both of them.
Right.
It's kind of like you get that crowd that's all competitive and they don't touch zombies, and you get that crowd that plays zombies and they don't touch multiplayer. I consider myself more so on the zombie side than the multiplayer side, but I have crossed over.
Now, it looks like Treyarch is not doing the next Call of Duty. It's Sledgehammer, which more than likely means there's not going to be zombies. Do you think you're going to hold off on the next Call of Duty, or do you think you'll pick it up, or do you think you'll wait until the next Treyarch game, because more than likely there'll be zombies again?
It's hard to say at this point because they've pretty much gotten like no trailers or any kind of like information like directly from the actual source. But like I'm kind of looking at it like this, like with Ghosts. As soon as they announced Extinction, that was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick up this game. But before that, I was kind of hesitant. So if they announce a mode that's very similar to zombies, or maybe even is zombies because we don't even know yet, then yeah, I'll probably pick it up. But right now, I can't really say anything for sure. Right now, I guess if it was just a multiplayer game, I'd have to say that I wouldn't be picking it up.
Okay. Now, Let's Plays. I want to do Let's Plays. I'm just terrible at them. I have a hard time like playing and talking at the same time. Like even if I'm playing multiplayer games, like if I'm playing Call of Duty Ghosts or something with other people, a lot of times I'll just shut up. Like I've tried to do live commentaries, and it like for the first 30 seconds is fine, and then there's just dead silence. How do you overcome that, or is it hard for you?
Well, I have quite a bit of public speaking skills. Like I do a lot of it just outside of YouTube and stuff. So I'm pretty like fluent with just being able to talk to people. For me, a lot of the time, I'll do a lot worse when I talk and play at the same time, which is why I don't do too much live comms on Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff. Because I'll go like 10 and 20 on Call of Duty if I'm talking and playing at the same time. So I try to stay away from doing that kind of stuff. But generally, it just kind of comes naturally, I guess. Just kind of can talk and play the game at the same time, and it doesn't seem to fill too much noise or anything like that. So.
Well, I guess with the Let's Plays, it's compared to like something where it's super interactive, like playing Call of Duty or something like that. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of games that are super interactive, but do you find that you've kind of found your niche, so to speak? I know in the video that I watched from Watch when I originally saw it, you can kind of switch back and forth between doing different things.
Yeah, I think at this point I found my niche. Like kind of what I did before was I used to see what was popular, and then I used to like build on top of that, right? Because that makes the most sense. You do a series, and if it gets popular, then you build on from that. And I'm finding a lot of success from my Let's Plays and vlogs, kind of just in one channel. And so I think I'm probably just gonna keep doing on with that kind of stuff, and maybe go back to zombies if they announce something this year. But probably just stick with that for the time being.
Okay. Now, so out of the hot games that are out right now, so you have like Titanfall and the South Park Stick of Truth, the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. It's like all these games are coming out, and normally at least for me, it seems like in the last couple of years, YouTube has been dominated by Call of Duty, and then there has been other things that are kind of underneath it.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, it's dominant from the games that are out now, more so than Call of Duty.
Right. Do you think it's just that people are getting bored of Call of Duty, or do you think that it's the newer games are terrible?
Well, I don't know, like, I don't mind Ghost personally. Like, I don't think it's a bad game or anything. Just personally, like, for me, I've played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 3, so it's like, it's getting a little bit kind of burnt out on it. I think it's just personally just getting boring. I think, like, people have seen so much Call of Duty. It's been so dominant for the last few years that people just need some new stuff, and that's what's out there, and that's what's getting popular.
Excellent. Now, I know you're mainly a PC gamer.
Yes.
Do you have consoles also?
Yeah, I have an Xbox 360. I didn't move on to the next gen. Well, I did very briefly, and then my Xbox One broke, and I brought it back, and they asked me, they were like, "Do you want a store credit or a new Xbox One?" And then I was just like, "Oh, just give me a store credit."
That's terrible. Did you get the tray, the disc tray thing that messed up, like a lot of other people?
My HDMI slot just stopped working out of nowhere, and just wouldn't export any video at all.
Ugh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the next-gen systems, do you think you're going to... If you pick up another next-gen system, do you think it'll be an Xbox One, or are you looking at possibly a PS4? Do you have a preference?
Right now, I'm looking at the PS4 kind of with those wide eyes, kind of like, hey, I see you down there with their second son going on right now. Because that game's just doing so well, and everyone I've talked to says it's so great. And so I'm looking at the PS4, and I'm like, you know what? You seem a little bit more appealing to me right now, because, of course, Titanfall's also on the PC. So I'm looking more at the PS4 right now, I think.
Okay, excellent. All right, well... I don't want to take up too much of your time. Again, this, I want to thank you for kind of jumping in and say that you'd be willing to do this all of a sudden. For anybody who's, absolutely. For anybody who's watching, the video gameplay in the background is Cameron Dane. I don't know how you prefer to go by.
Whatever one's fine.
Okay, whatever you want to call him, except for other bad things. But make sure to check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description. I'll also leave a link to your Twitter account. And hey, thank you again for being on the Gentleman's Corner.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me on.
Have a great night.
All right, see ya.